our representatives impossible. How we have made laws that have removed or are removing the obstacles to our development. The reality is that we have not fared that well as a country. We have seen instability in our markets, inflation rising, the city falling. We have witnessed business closures. We've seen increase in poverty, and we have seen joblessness among our people. There are several graduates of 6 years standing who are still looking for jobs.
One of you is ever talking about the potential of abuse and how that can degenerate into mental health problem we already have in this country. Why are we pretending that this is going to solve our problem? Minister, do you even know how many people in this country are smoking weed illegally? To the extent that you are saying that you are going to license people and show them where to grow the weed, and you have the ability. In fact, Mr. Speaker, even electricity that the sources we produce are known. We are unable to police the amount of electricity we produce in this country. You are now talking about giving license to people to produce weed. In fact, Mr. Speaker, whilst I don't have the potential of stopping this, Mr. Speaker, the fact is that Ghana is blessed enough with gold, diamond, everything. In fact, just recently we passed e-levy. None of this is able to save our country. In any case, do you know how much Zimbabwe earned? The highest they've earned, $130 million. So is this the reason we are coming to expose ourselves even to much risk? Why from this thing that weed is coming to save our economy?
Weed has a THC content of 30% maximum. 30%. Yes. And we are dealing here with 0.3 of the THC content. So, Mr. Speaker, the subject matter of the regulation is nowhere near marijuana or weed in this case. In fact, if the people of Adwene smoke what we are regulating now, they won't get high. So he shouldn't be worried about the youth of his constituency getting high. They will not.
It's important that we make sure that the regulations are really safeguarded to make sure that the licensing regime and the things that we must do. The point that the honourable member raised is very, very important. We've come a long way, right, Honourable Speaker. We should be probably in this discussion talking about Peter Tosh, Benny Wheeler, Bob Marley, and others. Because the reason I mentioned these names is because when I was young in the 70s, it was unthinkable that we'll be talking about even this lower content of THC in Parliament.
So first of all, it's not a drug. It does have psychoactive elements, and secondly, nutritionally, for our well-being, is very, very high up there. I have taken note of this whole caution, and indeed, Mr. Speaker, to say that this House has led the education of the populace on this matter. This House.
Azamu akwaba bio fakoye dri pensem mu onye na free anopa besi sabre aja minimini about authentic mama at the boss so ade the bon krata ne trending news ne dia kan na bro but the free sabre koi yane abajafo betranse na ya bobo nsem a edi ade ncheche no enso eho na afi atwe ho so abam now also do adwenkyere aba by way of phone calls ne WhatsApp messages ne na edika ewo ho no nti adwenkyere fabra there be am ga say so a very important part of this program nti anya say yen anya kwan abetena nkwa na ye kyere adwen wonso so adwenkyere eho ehia don't sit on the fence. Tell us what you think. Can you adwen yew because if you have say oh radio and a TV contribution be keke now also submission keke now but if you no na best sound mind until so ya no ma adwenkyere aba let it be as interactive as possible until free and I say we WhatsApp free 05500908 8 6 7 to say the go so na also do adwenkyerɛ aba so far there yɛdi nkɔmmɔ about as much as possible and there be freestyle as possible some more ɛkɔ so wɔ man no mu a ana ebenya adagye yɛdi nkɔmmɔ ɛde afa ho this parliament 8th parliament abɔ ne ho mmɔden ɛkyɛn parliament ahodoɔ ana to say the era babin ɛka no ana parliament we 8th parliament no ma bɔ mo ho mmɔden ɛkyɛn parliament abɛsen kɔ nyina na wo adwenkyerɛ ɛne sɛn no so yɛ asɛm baako report to be about bonti e kire ese wo hwe prospectus mu niam a omoto ne niam 1 or 2 bia eye awofo ebo ho ka eye amene aban expenditure oye ewo eye SHS ho amane ye free no prospectus ne niam binum so toto no so ama eno so akwakoye ne ho bibia o nanka enim se eye free am ye nyina ho ahenhan ye kama but ne toto no prospectus no toto no niam na abatoto no ne sa niam no said esi etiam ye behwe na yedi nkomo ede afa eno so eno ne nsema hodo pia ene ewo ho anase edi ede nchechi ne benya adaje ede account miura eye isi ofia na nse hu na che anse minim se gono nkata ma ebe chance na ebe hunu no ya na nka kwakoye ebere atorenche bi esi a okwakope ho amane e dia bebo ba na nse de ase ache nji ihu ni na me si papa yi otia ni na chi kakra na so otia ni na chi na fi na wabade ane enka ya asempa ababro nya bresa no de eja ya de anka ebebo sanso na Emmanuel Adote enso so anya so tuom parliamentary candidate for the National Democratic Congress. I'm from Mama Kwaba. Right, you too, kai.
Me try you thank you too.
Oh, damn, yes. I'm a confirm. Oh, say command you dinner. Never see who said, "We try home by there, Jana." You can't, Jibrunya, Diana, young Quajan Organa City. En ko jinu organa sidim yes I be lose na en se I be lose ke wedino no ha de no bi mo honorable bibi aboko there
big man patio
how safe is your seat? How likely, how strong is the likelihood say wait me a pursue
question I say I designed some questionnaire. How strong
is the likelihood?
The likelihood of me and my party enemy Crawford win the city is very high, very strong on the grounds because Jumana Ayebo, EIHS, Kanwa, area next year by 5 months into next year. We go to Kanya. Oh, say area you started, but until call Libre. Until by next year, almost all the houses about 13.
What have you been telling them?
At the end, say very simple. Politics is a way of creating competition for development. Now, idea be one way, a competition, and I can't say name, and my resources are all here, and most of the times when we use constituency to say a dental constituency and the swing areas are we should send a movement any one party for 24 years now. You can see a very big change. Now, Matna Anyaso to for the past 32 years.
32 years.
Since 92, I call. Wow. And time I call yes, community no. Now I didn't tell you now. You know, there was something like East Legon. Even as at 2003, there was nothing like East Legon. And we call Legon, University of Ghana, we call 2001. And I know the area very well. It was a single lane from Shiashi to Adenta. Madina and a big market. And I think so, but beyond that, bush, forest, waterloo. But we share the way they go about their governance. There's a big change as compared to Naswituma, way back. You can see the difference. They say they don't stay at one place. You can say voting for one party, you have committed a crime. No. And I say, Debbie. But let there be competition. Microphone will say, because we vote for 2 reasons. 2 major reasons are a change in our community and a change in our lives. And from the community development and the human development. And why is that 24 years? Like you can't see any change in the communities. You can't see any change. One can say the youth, why do you continue? And message in the
MP bet me aye. The assistant for Abrabom in the constituency. Apart from say Obeboa na the Bekoso of Parliament near decisions about course of Parliament now soon sounds only be ban the constituency. Is there anything an MP is supposed to do?
A lot. Aside that one, when say Parliament is share, and I say I bind share, and him say, obey maybe a constituency. And they create MP's common fund. That's
how significant is that? And on a day change, MP's common fund.
A lot.
Abrabo ben pan bit me as and I say, the constituent.
The common fund, which means you Edia Bob Rapa, because some of us we are close to parenting amount yet you egu MP's common fund. And I did be a GDBR for the 4 years. You get the point. And I feel so they have monitoring and evaluation. They have national health insurance, several funds, I think about 3 or 4 Eddie Agua to help the MP to go. That is one. Until those funds no, say who using a year pa on growth for me can say who using a year on growth for Obia probably is a debby. It's highly impossible. Let's be truthful. But on say one way or the other no, akra. On my Bible the SSR.
What do you think? What do you think an MP bet me aye ama memfa say nipa 20,000 ato about constituency no ma and as omote constituency no ma emu what percentage now here omabrabo nsesan esronko bi betimi abam say apart from MP ne a few people around him nsesan esronko bi pa
say dey be like I'm trying to explain because obviously the population in Mehonu is the same as Gas Central Municipal Assembly, the same demarcation. And we have over 280,000 inhabitants. Because your register is about 140,000 for voting. And we have some in Crophobia, Mundi 18 and so on. You can have over 280,000 at you. And you'll be an BB from MP. You get a vote indeed. We are not saying say Obia. Some people are okay. All they want is say, sorry, security wise. Obeti me ananti be bioti no street light e wo road no so eja o pushi aban se road ni nya o come one sem say be aban beti ni ahwe ho na o road no but there are other people are definitely they will need massive support from the MP no anything American say those funds na EDC no is to help you with those ones what you say
so ba o be bo MP for this for na
obia and aside that
obia no one can't one MP
no obia
MPP ni NDC for na
yes because you was
and MPP for the don't to my MPP for so be divi
there be you was MP we MP at the entire constituency into who challenges no ebia youth no more no educational scholarship be any until be 80 fee because omonya admission to tertiary but they can't get access to scholarship until you make room for everybody that all apply. It should be on merit. Of course, all the two say me pencro for more tertiary or scholarship no. It's also dumb party any party converting in them and their documents will come. But other parties also come. You must make conscious effort say Obia can be. And apart from all this, who leading for meaning say we are the chief spokesperson, chief marketing officer, and I think so. Una nyamiadom you can assist the youth in terms of ejuma in several sectors of the economy. The Honsu and MP can support because most of the youth in ejuma is a major issue apart from the community challenges that you know, ejuma for the youth. And we can internally create a lot of jobs over there. Say your youth in ethnicity. There are several ways. Sporting activities is a means of creating job. Communal games are free and paying for more the sporting arena no to sport talent aye or more other Division 1, Premier League, whatever. I also is a way. Internally, we can sit together. And sometimes some of us believe in getting closer to the people, visible leadership. They be you must have at least no less than 3 offices. You have this, have this discussion. Obia the ideas never because you can't have all the ideas in one person's head. Obia the but I believe that within the constituency, it will create opportunity for the youth and any other person, maybe and Yano.
Mr. George, I see a quite view.
Yeah, Major Soberman.
No more called there.
I bought the other room.
You watch it. Over to Hana, when you are a bolo. Yeah, send him a say, hey, who watch it or feel power. I bolo my back. I mean, I don't want next year, and so in 1 year, 2024, no, Mosemudi breaking 8, no. Imam so mo blocking enu mu ana esi ti nkomo no ana edi na me ka say na constituency be frefrel come for frefrel na
like I was about to tell you something
na tebia me boss bia no aka chem so enuru ho
still no we say ukwada ya no mo lift ban ukwada ya
mo positions
and say na duro ho no
ti ukwada mo lift any e
be lift ni ukwada
ya 20th
o but on
the 25th na ukwada no afede lift ultimate call so be kwa na
but so ya kan
yo me
frase ya bro wonso ntem en wani bide nti ezo no wo bro ano
no so ko bro no ntem ahwe ya na de yi bia ba wo no wa bre mra ye ba bro no wa bre nti yes minchia for production crew minua honorable aspiring be obisa na na say de ba mitia say anya so utiom de ase de wato boa boss na taso and this ni also work there as wato boa boss na taso and as a castle
exercise
well yeah I mean yeah so contest and no kind of competition bem but say he pass 280,000 people and 140 to abana lie
sana mukan
let me listen well you take care there back okay no
energy
so if you example of course the mama you say okasa na tell you one cry because
sana mukan energy so if you can change hands I'm surprised you are saying all this when we have clear evidence on the ground.
Pato, clearly, many are parliamentary idea or programs. So see our MPs be it's difficult because will be good to it is up in your marking. After marking, if for 2 years serious constituency are not a my MPP. But what about German say is strong. You get it, which is good. That kind of leadership, it goes beyond what common fund does. It goes beyond our common fund, no. And a Canadian Japan honum, and a brand a tampon. How will Kumsi? So, MPs be a while, and yet, he says, almost set to a mark, and they're doing their things different.
I can be to know.
Nya he san de oba
and Batman so ma unte rough and in the brown
so bo and he ko senti na ebie primaries no ye bia na yakọ so nti na asa man kase obi say this candidate baby baby so as a grobo bi
this am say why the corner obekọ na ono bisa no come
from say me bisa
but ono bisa kasi na mo na ya o bisa
darling boy chewo
darling boy me am darling boy oh me do I remember
I know
oh really
that's one guest boy
I remember
no we need this
kakra o
hey And you have me was
anyway, that's it goes beyond apart from the lawmaking and others. There are other additional responsibilities. Yeah, innovative, creative to get resources other than to be able to do an OMP. They are coming in and more. And that's it. Yeah, we see all aspirants the best. Yeah, and congratulate you all more. Really primaries in the orphan constituencies. No? Yeah, congratulate you all more for a yeoman's job done. You know, say one beto akonkodin yeah we need seats na do na wo hono ma ye lusu ye no because breaking the 8 no you hear the absolute majority. I bit me the Juma. I mean, His Excellency, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer and leader of the MPP, said, Mr. Digitalization. Taking the economy, interwoven in the digitized system to drive the economy forward. So you see things, inflation coming down. Look at the benchmarks but gradually we were in tough times, but gradually we are moving out. Fortunately,
Vice breaker of the 8.
Yes, and there is
breaker of the
8. Non-negotiable. Breaking the 8 there. I was about deliberately lie about because who here. Into the future, I said that's it. I quoted the more problem. That is the issue. Mamintia Asamanka Sefuina, Obujan Festival, no, Egusu Boboba, Nra, Homoye walk Kakra Asamanka, you know, this week, Saturday, crowning penny for a Bacohonum. Yes, we say, Nanadu Darkon and penny for official power na 9 penny for nyina MPP chama Makiba secretary omane echiamu nyina bibia beko emrenu mane we party eduma na ne yo ntia no de inevitable.
I am looking at against Darling Boy.
Your main man.
A bad deal.
Me
a bad near mammy.
That's how they are. But some young guys are not quite now.
So Wednesday, I lifted band. And the Thursday, the next week. I'll pick you forms now. I will fill in forms now.
Anyway, let's stay with Parliament. Speaker, let's say 8th Parliament, we Abba Juma Pa. In fact, I'll say the best. And I don't know. I may have an opinion, but Enkusi baby, I jamuna modeba. Money ne Adwene.
Pato, say Mr. T and Manchia, my Minchia, I feel na Minchia because it's 24. And I also to no pay me Chiobia. Na Minchia, wa Onipa. And Yamia Dom January 2025 no. Yes, senior him as President of Ghana, or John Dramani Mahama, Yamisha no. Wama say no political debate na yede. It's and say we have moved from those personalization no and I year can 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. Oh. No. Anybody. Say yes, no. Say anybody. Oh, maybe. Say about make it paranka. Yes, Sunday school pato. I mean, you know, echo here and ebe kwa. The Sunday school yanche say yan chantro. Wow, inti if I know to inche na nyamisha ora mahama because and then no wama debate na yede 24-hour economy. To be frank with it's dazing them. But we say it's a bad policy. But at the same time, we see yeah, by operating. Chairman of the Council of the Police Service, they are doing bad things. The man is confused. Wow, he said it's a bad policy. But he says that 24-hour economy, people are practicing in Ghana, choba. So how can the chairman of the police council, something is going bad, no? You are watching it.
Oh, but
bad policy.
Oh, how can we allow bad things to happen under your watch?
No,
as a vice president, meaning say the guy is confused, so he couldn't even choose his words. What do you say?
Bad policy.
Oh yeah. No, but he did that. He says Mohammed's idea is a bad policy.
No, bad policy.
But are they be bad no? Must you allow it as a government member? Are they be bad, Pato? Must you allow it to thrive in the country?
But I know police for police watching
politicians. And I say you are the chairman of the council. So as the security, like with the level we are working, you must not allow bad things to happen.
So what I'm saying is that so police penny. Now say Obi adding the policy about. Or say a bad policy into no akwache.
No. Or seeing that policy a bad idea. Number one. But I think so. In Crawford, listen. At the same time, or see in Crawford, participate that bad thing. So how can the bad thing thrive under your watch? My echo and I know George will not agree with me. Now, Namisha Uramahama. Now the issue, to be frank with you, the issue. Adwene, Edia to Guano. I totally agree with him. And Yanka, Parliament will always be like this, to be frank with you. Because Ama, and I know Mr. you will agree with me, Ama documents are everybody is alert. You show me here. Because Pato, you are in the media space. Some documents, it Parliament, I approve it. Then we all get surprised. Maybe you're really going to say, hey. And the point is, tell about Parliament for sure, approve it. And that's happened several times. But then, the minority is very alert. Majority is also alert. I will be a born age because and the speakers who edge and fin, we can see that the quality nature of Niemana every parliament, across you. I'm not saying it has gotten to a level where but it's far better than the other parliaments are. Ghana. So in that score, I think I agree with the Speaker of Parliament. Say they have churned out quality policies and laws.
But I'm kind.
And I think so.
But I'm kind. We now the very friend. We are Joe or say also. Me kind and the free Ghana web. Date in poetry 22nd July 2023. I say 8th Parliament is the worst in Ghana's history. I say Joseph Osei-Usu, Ghana's first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, has expressed his utmost disappointment in Ghana's 8th Parliament. According to him, the current Parliament is the worst in the country's history. Reacting to minorities' resolve to boycott parliamentary business in their protests against the prosecution of the Achikwesi, Osei-Usu explained that initially, with a hung parliament, he assumed the 8th Parliament of Ghana would be the most successful and most progressive in the history of the country. However, it turned out to be the worst. He said, and I quote, "We have decided to do politics instead of business. This equal number in Parliament has brought the worst in MPs." I've repeated it. I will repeat it again. This Parliament, the 8th Parliament, has made the least number of laws, Osei-Usu said in an interview with Joy News. During Thursday's session, while the House was deliberating on various bills, including Ghana's UNESCO bill, it became apparent that there was an insufficient quorum to proceed with proceedings and as a consequence, an early adjournment was forced. That's also the young people are in control. The young people are in control. They look things differently. They look at things differently from the rest of us. So it is even good for them when their leaders agree to do it. Check the current parliament. It is always people from the backbench who come to raise this thing and not the leaders. What it means is that at this time in Parliament of Ghana, leaders don't have control. The backbench has control. Just say and so opinion.
Yes.
Only the first deputy speaker of Parliament.
And I like the way your conclusion say opinion. So but I completely disagree with him. And also look at the example of society concerning education issue. Minority can't say no. But I mean, it from all intents and purposes, education issue was politically witch hunting. And say because we fear I mean, after a year, or to me, Ghana law, because you see, accepted the document, and Crawford, you see, the kingmakers, near young for 2 years, Munsema, or Monomu leaders, no, say, ye peronoa, a man. So we need, so, the example I'll say to you, I mean, it's much ado about nothing. And that's his view, anyway. But this parliament is the best so far because we've gotten a balanced report, and I say policies and rules are AP, and the quality level has been enhanced. In fact, a lot of things have been stopped. And yeah, like if you compare to the first term of Akufo-Addo, when they had 169 seats, 169 against 106, you could see anything at all that goes there. They have their way. There are times that Honorable Muntaka can even get up. Speaker Profokwe will never even notice him. It's like we have the majority, so we have our way. Just say what you want to say, make your say, and we have our way. And a lot of things came out. You remember, Fanny saying the executive instrument for the COVID-19, the president put some things in place. Finally, what came out from the Supreme Court? So it was unconstitutional. You can refer to it. That thing went to Parliament. Quickly it was passed out. But at the end of the day, Supreme Court ruled that near document it was against the Constitution. So several things happened when they had the absolute majority. And then you can see everything has been streamlined properly. The BAP, like they are able to negotiate. Okay, this particular constitution, this particular region, now we to Enkoha. It goes out. Points are become very difficult. You vote by 2 votes and I say 1 vote. You could see that even those laws, and a clear example is e-levy. Target up to now. They are not even doing 50% of target almost 30. And you can see how it's affecting the conditions of the people in the country. When it comes to the e-levy, you can see incredibly a dodgy e-levy, meaning that e-levy was a bad policy from day one. It was in the same parliament.
So how is it affecting us? Yeah, dodgy. And so how is it?
A lot of people are dodging the payment of e-levy. We are not able to meet our target, because we told them, you see.
But conform dodgy and kebe theater.
Yes, because we told the loopholes. I say they use volume of activities. And the estimated target, which is completely wrong. I've already been citing the example. ABR, my train 2,000, they go my wallet. System will record 2,000 activity. Mama will 1,000. System will record another 1,000 activity. Mama already see 1,000. Record. And the system will record 4,000. But the bottom line, underlying money in the air 2,000. So volume activities was a wrong approach. Also, we can say we are doing about 1 trillion activities on the mobile platform. And I can say, no, if you use that one, you are making a big mistake. But look at the initiation. It can be a free ban. What was 2,000 per year? I can share the system will cause several activities. You can see
ideal way of measuring it would have been what?
Would have been the initiation. If you know this guy is very good at the ranking. Is it deputy ranking? Sam George. That can even say about this. Stay calm. Now,
so it's not it's not entirely a bad policy.
No, but even in terms of taxation, it's a bad tax element. It's a regressive tax. And once it's regressive, and I feel so, it's something that the people are inelastic. Their demand to use mobile platform is inelastic, meaning they can dodge. So from all angles, it wasn't the best policy to put in place. CBC charge on mobile activities. So what I'm trying to say is there have been instances the two parties, the two sides, agree on policies, in terms of we getting quality rules, policies, and regulations at APA. Instances the majority had their way in terms of voting. When you have 1 or 2 votes ahead, you could see that those policies, and for me, if we like Rabbi bin Kaya, if we have this for a very long time, it will enhance our developmental, issues. It will solve most of the challenges. But of course, we cannot determine how Ghanaians will vote in the next general election. ABR like we always say, a Juma already share MP in same say, and not what happens mostly. What happens in Parliament, 10% of their consideration. Majority, because I'm a candidate, the way you interact with them in their communities. Nyamana wo ya ebwa community no afenso ebwa ankranko amuti ho no. Those are their focus as compared to activities in parliament. I mean, we cannot determine how the ninth parliament will be, whether it will be a hang parliament. But the hang one, if you do a critical academic work, when we say we have benefited more from the one side. This way.
Yo, Speaker of Parliament. No experienced member of Parliament. That's one thing I've learned. With the stature and pedigree in parliamentary democracy, was all Kasai Tina Supem. And also now will be presiding over the House and austere affairs of the House. What's name from 93? I be see way ebia with the experience I got that and but Joe say also experienced member of Parliament. Also actually if you rise to the first deputy speaker. Also because of the numbers to the BNA say hold the other part to ransom. So and also in your BBA a bet weigh the balance normal. Me feel said this parliament not saying BB say we cannot be having a parliament majority will always have their way and go like that. There should be negotiations. And so share that side not just that this parliament has been a good parliament because what's not say now decide BBR. You don't rubbish the minority side because I was so new penny for a dream. So more dream one son and more push out the otherwise a bayana two and so juma the constitution. Maybe I also the constitution here juma no the juma because I say we hear the absolute majority. We hear a simple majority. We hear we Nina ya de juma and my attendance to the house and so to the beer whips no I was all cheap poor beer no because may see back you are losing whatever bill I would to table no
you
so
lose out if you miss out.
Yes, you lose out if you miss out. You get it. Internet be expensive. So US near the we have Fanaba. I was all about Parliament and so on was go back. Ebiana will leave and Amawi. And see Nina and call for set up to their responsibilities. So it is all in all, but Iowa Bamusia who say a difficult time my but also it's near a normal P. Baby, it says I was here a year and 1 year so that we can get our way through. So we should use negotiation, consensus building. Oh no, we need. I think the governments. Yes, if it's there, but government must have the absolute majority to be able to make laws. There will be a progress in here, and just stifling law. But one good thing is when they say, in spite of the challenges, no, the minority are cooperative. You get it? They are critical, understanding, but even though I'm the condition, but good. What's it?
Stand on a home. Who said?
Oh no, I'm balancing it. Yeah, I'm balancing it. Sir, it's good. Sir, Senior Kano, there's been progress. There's been challenges. There's been challenges. Boycott me, holding to ransom.
So you don't have a position.
Oh no. So far, no. I think a government needs absolute majority parliament to be able to govern properly. But that notwithstanding,
so this is not helping this government to govern properly.
Oh, it's Joe wise kind, So if you boycott and co, sometimes you have to wait and negotiating, back and forth, and so finally, I didn't come over and run.
So you take about 1 week as far as you're concerned, things are bad.
Oh, things are difficult. Things are difficult in terms of pushing your bills and go through Parliament. The e-levy, for instance. Yes. Ultimately, a mammo is scrutinizing a year, which is good. So on that score, I agree with the Speaker. So there are some things that you don't just push it through. Because the better people will do proper scrutiny.
If I would take position.
No, why do I take? I'm saying in the balance of probability.
He agrees with the Speaker.
That's it. No, I agree in part, and I agree in part too with yes, and I agree in part with first deputy speaker.
Who plays safe?
No, but that's the truth. You get it. That's the truth. Because maybe ever hold you ransom. No, what do you do? Oh yeah, face. We saw it. 11 said me okay. We did the analysis and all that, but it's still there now. Yeah.
Many are so for bonfire, Magana. Your bonfire for this parliament bill.
Oh no, they're gonna for be decided. I ain't got no problem. But I feel say the governing party only simple majority. No, because both for advantages. Both for advantages.
Which one outweighs the other?
Oh no! If the government can have the peace of mind to think and roll out policies about Ghana, why not? But we're thinking how you are thinking of how it's going to pass through. But because fire, the refined gold to
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
From time to time. And we've seen the advantages and disadvantages. So,
but you like the.
Oh yes, I like it. I like it. The engagement, engagement, minority
quality of
majority.
Debate.
Yes,
have you paid mind to?
Oh yes. Quality of debate. Still no parliament surpasses the 1996-2001 up to today. The quality of debate. No parliament has surpassed that up to today.
No, and also the people involved at that time. No?
Yes.
To be frank with you, there were people on the other side, but I learned a lot from the 96.
Yes,
2000.
very experienced.
The JH
and they wanted to.
The people involved at that time.
But Parliament, the way as compared to previous ones, who says, "I can't machine but chairman."
Oh, they are doing well. They are researching subject matters. Better than American and do the 96-2001, but it's good.
Okay, 7th, 8th. Is 8th an improvement over 7th?
Yeah, if because of the hang nature, because it's
an improvement
upon 7. But the governing party, had its in the 8th, in the 7th than now. Because now, you don't have a choice. Majority leader must engage the minority leader before sitting begins. Otherwise, you will not make any progress, which is good. The engagement and nationalistic view, so it's there.
Will be a language, English language, say this does not help governments to. Does not help government to govern properly.
To push their way.
No, okay, say to govern properly. It doesn't help the government to govern properly.
No, sometimes one say, policy be our person will roll out, but they will stop you from a challenge. What your budget accord to honum? It be a policy be more when you bring our person no pushy, but a honor so obviously no. For instance, 11 year or can ultimately, and that affected investor confidence in our economy in 2022. True or false?
No.
True or false?
No.
And my credit rating agencies also downgraded because investors were pulling out.
No.
Because they didn't believe.
The e-levy was only one angle to your total revenue mobilization. Just one angle.
I think I'm very good at this. So leave me to do my job.
But you were quiet.
No, so I listen and make
you quiet.
Make your judgment. And me thought party.
Flow.
Yes, flow. But
those are
you
ultimately, I think Parliament, Bagbane is not far from right, but on the balance of probability, I think if we abide the hand to be able to, implement and roll out their policies a bit wide. But this one's the checks and balances, it has been reasonableness. It has been reasonable. I agree with him. Say there be a minority feels say no, this one let's push. They push, and that is good. Building consensus and engagement. And your majority, decided minority leader planting on here, at that floor near that one, I think this one has changed that one.
I think someone might quite almost. district assembly elections, should we stop the hypocrisy? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Ima,
I'm not
shouldn't we stop this hypocrisy?
Which hypocrisy?
Yeah. It is partisan. Let us stop this.
Oh, posters, no, you know.
It is partisan. You see, why are we most of the times, yeah, I'm percent Ghana. You might any buy a house to say,Ncrofor Shayen issue said, yeah, Amamu City, our neighbors, your contemporaries, a Shayen, the Omushayen issue. This particular day, we know. Say, oh, about thing, Upa Dumogani, let's saw at the forefront. It is hypocrisy, isn't it?
But about last the first term of MPP government, Anka or more like we were pushing for the partisan nature of the assembly and also vote for if anything DCs and MCs. At what point did we differ from the MPP? I say that at the beginning we were all on the same path. Adwene one side, but on the way, there was something we said and disagree, and that's how come we pull off. Because that particular, if anything,
what is it? What was it?
There was something I'm just trying to recollect near ACA. We couldn't support them. We didn't support them in terms of. I think they wanted to make the election of the DCs and MCs partisan. Say parties must sponsor them.
No. As a party,
so they were changing the entrenched position in the constitution, entrenched clause. Yeah, and that's where we had the issues. You see, in a way, I understand the hypocrisy. I understand because we are all on the field. I'm on the field with my people. In the MPP name, candidates are more pushy or more for. Even unit committee, they know their people. Let alone assemblymen, NDC name. We know all these things. But I think, say, which way can we organize this thing properly? ABA, say, parties, will have the results and I say, the posture, and I say, impact, we'll have it. Which way? And I think that's where we, as a parties in our entrance, then we come up with the best. We are doing it already. Let us do it. We almost partisan. So why are we doing this to ourselves? But we are doing it, but openly. And I say, in the way, some people take part because when you say, and you end this in MPP.
To Brian independent. As an independent.
I'm talking about those. Those participation from voters, not those contesting.
From voters.
Voters. Obi say
until there are people who don't vote for parliamentary elections.
We don't go for NDC, MPP, yes, because
they are floating voters.
We have never scored 100%.
They are floating voters.
Yes, and I say they don't believe in partisan.
The same thing in the district assembly. Let us stop this.
But so me, I think say we should sit down.
Chairman,
honorable
MP to be. Let us stop this.
And America say, I don't disagree with you. I started by saying, I understand your point. Maybe I will say we are being hypocrite. I agree with you. I don't disagree over there. But my point is say, together with the Electoral Commission, come up with something. It will still have served the impact. I say, it has not been streamlined. That's a fact. We don't pay unit committee members. We don't pay assembly members. Some city allowance and Utins who are challenged is some way. Sometimes it's like 50 cities, and so let's streamline all the process. And if we can link it to the election of the MMDCs, and we should come to a point, I agree. I want to say that's the reason why I can say this particular parliament, is better than the previous one. Or 7th one, and if the document I'm going to call 7th one, this one, like already here can say there were proper consultation, negotiation, discussion, I believe we would have taken and I say agreed to go in a particular way. It depends on building consensus, negotiating, coming together. Men feel say, you know all the things in this world. That was the posture in the 7th Parliament. And if you do it that way, and at this hang Parliament, you can have your way.
All right.
And I think say if we sit down together let's carve out something. It can be our type of midterm elections. Since in America, America they do the midterm elections. It determines the government's impact of the policies in the state. We can also carve it that way. Say assembly election, unit committee.
The assembly unit committee.
Any decision
measure the performance of
sitting government. The impact of any policy for the first 2-3 years. We can see. So we can carve out something.
I believe you describe it to me, they are checking whether they will win the next elections or not. Because if you back a candidate and the candidate loses or wins,
it tells you something.
Yeah, George.
Yeah.
It's not always the case.
Okay.
Sometimes people may not like that.
Okay. Sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it works.
But midterm measurements, the end of the year, correct. Before I may touch you on that, the sequencing suspension was lawful. A year. It's a lawful process. For the parliament is a place of records. So that in future will be in reference. Once upon a time will be illegally entered parliament.
The democracy is very expensive.
That's all. So I'm happy. So no, the court my ruling. You call back. I feel you were qualified. Or then the document call you. You sang for 2 years and we really everything has been set straight for the future references.
Then drop the case.
No, but for lying, deceit of public office is another matter. So another criminal legal matter. Yeah, so no, it's not partisan.
No,
legal. District assembly election. The Honorable Dambuchi, local government minister, the expectations is 50% turnout. To vote because it's always been below. And before more at some mobile MP. I say non-partisan. Okay, I said maybe General Mosquito. Good morning, Chama.
I go push
you. That's the bet. In our numbers near Tuaba Hotchna. Yes, support the local government structure. Politics, you see, the FAPIM our local level. Kwamena Ahoy, only one key person at this concept or models are local district assembly concept for the Ghanaian situation. And all the time, was all experts and so on. I may practice here, but the only challenge the interest, intimacy pull up. And you can't say, partisan. Media let me for partisan approach because say I now can may call around who post out say we were obvious
referee then be paper recording or say
so and now can say nyacho no e be ni eja be ye nyan change imra no ye nkosa na because buying nominate obi so no koye MC ya any negotiations e koso and this impany for before you get it and mostly for instance say yen wa ba me NDC has nothing to lose so omo position here do so stiff mo na mo de no ba because you reject we ya mo na mesan you before raba. And it's a Momo Penedia will support you to flow. Do you get it? That is the engagement, which means a partisan. Yeah, we are refusing to accept it. And the Emra back in the future and look at it.
For elections more in our part of the world. Ghana,
yes. 30 years of democracy. 30 years of democratic dispensation. And the excitement at the base, party for we shape more than the non-partisan because the funding in the assembly is minimal. Because people are public forum, NCC for EC for organize them. I'm a better platform based on a mother. To
some extent, a building a man for politics at the next level. Because a man for
becomes a structure.
Caliber of people or mobile radical assembly.
Who baby doctor, lawyer. Says they don't have a doctor, lawyer. No, we
went through the process. We have people that going through the process.
Me have been a polling station chairman for my way. So will go at the lower.
I was a treasurer for the constituency.
Yes.
I've gone
Lawyer,
chairman for
this Legon and then Tabe, who lawyer back who Doctor B, and I was excited. Said, wow, they are in to contest.
In fact,
because
I don't know about MPP, but my NDC, is it a lecturer or is he a doctor? Or compare polling stations.
Chairman, yeah, we have professors
branch,
now.
More than a
branch chairman, yeah.
In
Central region,
the
local lecturers who are branch way.
That's why yes, only our professor will use Professor Abani. No, chairman. Professor, top professor uses not a chairman. Uses one of the police stations.
We have medical
That's good. It's good. They get involved.
You see, the impression. I don't know what you think, but anyway. But I say, I dream be with a team say, I say, party politics, no, a high end. What am I say? I say a DNA.
Okay, so
we are living with it.
Yes,
we are improving. We are living with it.
We are improving. We are MPC parties. That's all what they.
We are living with
it. To be fair, say, and all kind.
From the scratch.
Yes, they be say, you know, a meet up. Measurement last one ochina nyamboa yenko emohwi ni yenko to aba honorable dambo to expect say it mean 50% or more attendance to vote key last one menia menene nyaadwe 1991 92 na is legon.
Okay.
They were building this they were building this Legon. Interesting thing now, but interesting thing now all that time.
It was like this Legon.
Interesting thing. Those were the times they were putting up the place. Now, uncompleted building, obi the way we see them, you will marvel. Those were the times they were the place was springing up. Would that have been there? Is that time? That was the time they were building. Now roads no open to travel.
You know why this happened?
But now there's a complete town. But 91, 92, East Legon was there. East Legon was there.
Now, first year, Unya died, 2001. Me high died.
East Legon.
And I had
they were putting up the place.
That was the end of the town. We go beyond America.
People were building.
Bush, waterlog, and so on.
Nasa so. Anyone you say is Legon. I think they were putting up the place.
No.
We have been there.
It was shashi.
I know
beyond that.
Unfortunately, I cannot be part of this conversation because I'm more judging.
I went to visit friends and co. They were putting up the building.
The place has really changed.
Yes, of course. Now
as compared
to town.
Areas are people were there more than this Legon. It has changed.
But 3 minutes now. In fact, on this lithium, we say minimum.
Oh, make also free SHS.
Okay. I don't know, but I'm gonna say very freestyle. But I think, sir, it's also important. It's equally important. Free SHS. In him say, Anka Yadeba Abeyi, your friend saying, Kai Wahon, and to a very large extent. I'm not sure Obama so Koskua near my Roberto to prospectus there, but to 1 or 2 be at the amount of Eddie Ababon Hoka. But that's say a million woman to Yana can a costronum near the other. But I say, Mcrophobinum, I shed that I say, or more. Minim says, so much in some person say free SHS no. So, or more efforts na status quo no. Na more crime or munya BBD. Any hono nti no mo create bibi so that on betimi anya bibi adi wo mo they can administrators of school managers no I to say mintimi and I want to be fair. I don't want to say omo adwen bone on person omo say free the freeness of the SHS no. And I say they were doing business with the status quo and now that it is not there they want to create something and make some money out of it. I don't know. I don't get it. And I'm sure obi anya obeka na say dey make ya. Obi kwanya obesi su dwen say omoboa omopekwan wieska wom. But me ntimi nya ne say because of where we are.
So ejuma bia ye no. Nkrofo e fa ho edidi. So that one I cannot rule it out. Ejuma bia
Media na munheme.
Media. So I don't have any problem with that. The idea be and that's the root of our corruption. It will be no fine chain. But you see, this free secondary school policy, nobody can tell me say it's against because it's enshrined in our constitution. The constitution envisage say we should get to a point that progressively free SHS is there. So nobody's against it. But one said there are a lot of challenges with the implementation. That is where you can once a month. The NPP jump. Hey, say free secondary school no anka a policy we have to vote before it to be implemented in this hang parliament anka. And also be here because it means say it will have come out with better elements in the implementation. Wow, and that's the challenge that we have. Look, Pato, by the grace of God, my friend Kora, Omuko school, time of free secondary school, NUO, 2013 to 16, Ganata. And I've taken care of Koransua secondary school Ebaye. When I compare, I spent more on that free secondary school. So the report is true. I spent more. So if I look at the report, because time.
Okay, so you're trying to say, free SHS, no, is it not because of said to be frank, said Nema Bo, as I say?
It's all part. You see, we live in an environment where we have internal budget, there are external considerations because you can't tell me say me planning for the next 3 months. You have to consider inflation. So it's all part. And at that time, it was not stable.
Is there anything yet a part of the prospectus? Nayen
yes.
Time or
yes.
There have been additions.
A lot of things.
There have been additions.
Yes, currently, they taught school uniform.
And then okay.
Yes, we pay for school uniform, and they have. First of all, you have to do the checks and measure because they uniform number. You taught uniform for Sunday wear now on measure no. You see, and I feel so. We have to support the feeding.
But policy, no.
Last time, I don't know.
Oh, you
I don't know, but
if
my child, if my PT, you have to pay. They gave us my material, no particular one, to go and buy it and sew it. You am coming, Pato.
No, I want to understand. I'm not saying because we say more but obiawo ne the offer more baby and say you're bringing it up say I bo am pese ehun say school now cause o toy no na was school no provided na chenti o toy na
the initial thing is say yento checks on no share uniform beba but after a year second year now uniform this share checks in so you have to do say additional checks in count because that's what they were wearing and the man say I'm buying fan by you have to pay.
Okay, so
I'm coming up too. Honestly, I told you say me have taken care of people in the boarding house, the various schools now, and see I can compare the two. My point is say even they are feeding. Last time I show you the platform. You remember? Patu, made the platform HL contribution of every parent. I do platform this. You saw it. Particular school. I can't mention the name. There were instances and a constant payment of money to augment on feeding. I told you over here. You're supplying even A4 sheet rims to print their exam papers. So many ridiculous things. Those days, no one say government secondary school fees is subsidized already. We don't pay realistic school fees. For instance, tell me what 2001, they told us that to train a student for a whole year and science at the Science College of Business and Applied Science department, they said it will cost 1,000 at that time. But fees was less than $100, $1,000. That was what the report APM said. To train one student in the science faculty for a year will cost the government 1,000. But near our for school is highly subsidized. The same applies to secondary school, subsidized. In the those days, I agree, subsidized. But we don't supply A4 sheet. We're not paying money for their feeding, nothing. We pay and they go. Not our provisions, no money, pocket money. And you calculate and see, it's okay, 3 months. In 3 months, you can say, those days, now it was barely 50 cities or so can take care of the child at that time. The 50 times 3, 150. ABR, that part of the Santi send me another money for transport back home. If I compare now the amount of money I'm sending DBR month on month to support their feeding for their examination, and they've even got something they call teacher motivation because the teachers were doing extra. That one we're on the platform I've shown it to you before. We were paying all those things. I'm like, then where is the free? I would have preferred to say me school fees, like me year 2013, I just paid. board provisions, give the child money, and man fashion young cow. Unless maybe I may call PT and I say vacation, then I say me I may pay. I'll buy something on the way and add it to it. There are other things. We buy a lot of things, so broom and all those things included. But it wasn't so. So in comparing the two, no, frankly speaking, I will for a bread in terms of normal supply as compared to time I ate here within you see the whole thing. How much was the fees at that time? 380 cedis for a whole boarding, a whole 10. I remember very well. I have some of the receipts around IATIA. So it's okay. Point is, we are not saying the policy is entirely bad. No. Nobody in its right sense will tell me that giving free education, because say school anchor, me bra George, and they will not be here. So it's good. Say everybody will get on board. But the implementation and what challenges, yen na yen discuss it. Then we come up with the best way to shape it. A honor NDC for led by Mama can say we'll review. We say, hey, cancellation. You see how they did the propaganda. How can review of a policy becomes cancellation? We need to review and set some few things, some parameters in place. Say, let's do it this way. About the feeding now. Let's agree. Say feeding now. Like you were 1D, 1F. You see, one village, one warehouse, and all those things. Let's set that in place to support secondary school. Right. Let's do some of the things deliberate. Say, A4 sheet. Can't we have companies or printing A4 sheet in Ghana for printing of their exam papers?
Time into my main court. But George comes in useful because we say watch A class. My own friend say.
And I know so. He was deputy minister of education in Vancouver.
Yeah, Miss Ivakwa. Yeah, Miss Ivakwa. Because St. Augustine's, right?
No,
Fancy Pim. Okay, so.
Yeah.
What 1 hour here?
Executive for 2 terms, and I'm an advancement board member. So, free education issue, you know. Many okasa pato and create challenges. Maintain and pretend they said there are no challenges. Challenges but the good news they say research no my no create woman say about 100,000 people anka ordinarily no munya amun kosek amun dream who class for they go.
Excellent.
And it takes them from the streets. Good, in spite of the difficulties.
100,000 your number kase pa.
Anka omo de on dream poso
every
academic year.
Yeah, every academic year.
But funny enough, you see us
and it's been in practice for how long? You're practicing it for how long? Close to 8 years.
8 years. Yeah, 8 years now. Starting.
Until close to 800,000 hitherto common opportunity in school are now SHS graduates.
Good. And I mean a typical example be a mekano. I am part say many are the all cancel buanko for no credit. Many for these normal additional payments I was through. Let's say and you be na ya won conform akọ secondary school about crowd or no one to be that as we nya about suade so obi on adamfo we or dada big kakranti or the books no ba time on no sua mathematics and that kind also me sua physics me po also me sua physics
because
yes obi here book no so into okoko sua physics and ma for back house na me koye elective maths do you get it that
books about me call
packer chemistry no physics now they call yes those are the things and they are so strategic because obi from 1 to upper 6 but the shit talk school once per so but those are some of the challenges but what me query
obi so shit no nko na timidi
wa conversa As obi shit there and the school dey na ya check to di So those are some of the realities. So headmasters NF also person wo say ade no men to be honest with you. Men call for that go school anyway. Sometimes they tell you the challenges. Minister of Education himself will accept some of the challenges. If you are subsidy no time I will say do no. They do some time no. But the school must run. So, indeed, the headmaster must find novel, innovative ways to do, and I am now in position. But, Mr. Headmasters, I said, men impose BBR. Don't do it. But the farmer war, school no your money. And Jack Cabano has admitted.
Sometimes I'm to maintenance.
Yes, yeah, sir. Adwene ni obu enkonwa break it down. Oh, na still
young farmer say na anything. Because some
it's almost so person omo ye ntina ya omo impose those fees. I mean can say throw that be me call last. But I respond to my ass. Some schools are getting no big electricity bill. I'm sure. So here I'm saying no, but yeah, minister, here trouble for you. So, these are tell because person yeah no to me any year because yeah the Jawa yeah those are some of the but headmasters yeah best mon call no ba omo man wie still be business by this time and ye be school bro nya but then the minister can say next year bet me about back to the September calendar. Do you get it? Inti we are young koko 2 way no ba di bronya we abasan akwa twas.
Yeah de levy see na no you call launch business and employment program or
yes. Yes.
In fact, I was asking
Kofi Japan His Excellency the Vice President Omo Boyjuma.
I asked him say Kofi, why are you able to do all these things? I said I say Ghana I dey so still we are able to do this. I say communication service tax and no sika na eba no ebia na ye dey sika eba ye sika ye ntompa ho nti eba so as a young man my bre penya me nim say for say me money useful nka free money ametimi cut corners but me say ye useful am microphone bibi I was excited so free SHS yan nyina agi atum say ya de papa no tax bi whatever something levy bi
special no I know no baby
special levy bi
no aban say the jubilee fees ka na be ba beboa because say levy bi so no obi agi atum yen no part of reforms but we mu wa hu nti am ka reforms doubt wo mu nim no pato wo ka o try ayeka for years o ka reform no dey na see
we refer back to the 3 years because reports anywhere HSA we need 4 years secondary education. What about 7 years? Why don't you go back to the 4 years?
No, we decided we will not change.
No, because
research. Nanadu made a decision.
No, because
let's not touch
research from the expert HSA.
I'm telling you, Nanadu made that
3 years is enough. Yes,
that was the initial Mohammed report.
How did this get introduced into what we are talking about?
No, so see, because the Mohammed report, at that time I was SRC president. My rep was on that committee, and I was my vice chancellor.
Let me bring ideas.
Edward Bauer is your own man.
I know. Let me bring ideas on the levy. I say, way back when we started, we can say it will be suicidal for me. You see, baby, I made one. Fidelity those days, say a branch manager. I know the salary channel. They buy a Morning Star, but you make here for 9 years, and anyway, a corporate service is free. It doesn't make sense.
It makes no. I disagree with that. No.
Because even finance minister, how can you? If finance minister said
no, I disagree with that.
Say look, or no, he can pay for 20 people.
Yes, he can.
If America said to Boise.
No, but
I'm saying that I will follow. Some of them have what we call the carrying capacity to pay.
Yes.
And don't mix with in for more living.
Hey,
we don't do it that way.
You disadvantage your mom.
Don't mix with
Messi Pato.
Can I learn?
Okay, so one of the examples.
Quite scholarship, big daddy's kids.
If you pay attention, no, you're not getting me.
It's the same argument. So don't go there.
To pay.
Yes, they do.
And I give the example like a Morning Star.
It's a state policy.
A Morning Star period.
Yes.
Has been able to pay for the past 9 years.
Yes.
That's a person does not need the subsidized fees and time in the 90s. My point is, can we have wait. Can we have a flat payment? Let's say looking at the cost let's sit down at the round table. Let's look at the cost of training a child. I'm coming.
You are a finance person.
Let me learn.
Inside they are okay. me just time into na me jiwa no. They are okay. Me a hear say they are okay. Nka how much me bet to generate?
Cost one, no. In training a child, coming one child per term in the boarding house and the day school. How much is the cost? And in terms of actuarial science, how much will the cost be in the next 10 years? Maybe and then you figure no. Now, I buy from like he's saying, we use part of the oil proceeds and the supporting. But it's not enough. Until I buy okay. Can we task every parent?
That's a good idea.
200 cities. Example, flat.
No,
maybe 2 months. Parents, you see, parents must show commitment.
Okay, so maybe
200 cities.
No, we'll get back to
let's make this point. It may not sound well to you.
And I'm happy you brought in actual science because man say why one who says Sikano into the future says
if you are 1,000 cities now in future you got 2,000 all those things now
fair be say who say parents be at 200 e be saying
that's it
until complement the edit. Okay, then we look at it say okay, not every parent maybe to
excellent. How can the parents
in tax? That's all. Young fan in tax. No. How much you could have raised?
Yes.
You see tax. You see because something the assumptions of taxation. We call it tax. You will not have the support of everyone. And we play politics. In America, say take your time and go to America. From there, you can see that okay, some parents cannot pay the 200 cedis, but every child is coming from a district. Every school will be a district. District internal revenue will tell you the district economic activity and their carrying capacity. In the whole, this is common fund no can be enhanced. District in Korea, free urban, 200 cedis no. You can't waste.
No, common fund. No,
you have the district common fund. Maybe 100 cities until we enhance it to 200 cities.
But I mean now from taxpayers' money, tax may be free. If you are going to increase tax now, from the same taxpayers' money.
Assumptions of taxation. What do you call the assumptions? Secondary school tax idea, tax. You know the resentment from people, so you may not have the support of the people unless all the tax are a very elastic demand on a particular item. Then you can have your way, like petrol.
Okay, so young friends here, the
things are. When I make an example of CMB scholarship, we can collect CMB scholarship. I know.
I know.
Now, who show am we cry?
I know. I swear say o me Adwene.
Alright.
I was in charge of the processing.
Parents can pay.
I know. I see some of the names.
The parents didn't buy school. They didn't sell in some of fancy. Almost 50 Ghana. I mean, keep what about the DBADD? You're not paying out what they are for. Kaba, I have.
But Merry Christmas in advance to everybody. We are between 2 and 5:30 at the Adwene Kasabeba on original 91.9 FM.